pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the regular board meeting, village board meeting of Village of Washingtonville, today, September 17th, 2019. Just a few announcements. Our fountains in the ponds have been completed. Actually, we have some algae that's creeping into the fountain tomorrow at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Monell Firehouse is going to be having a water drill to turn the fountains over, to clean them out, clean out the baskets. We have started our paving project along Decker, Smith Court, and Hayes. We are now in the beginning stages of replacing about 1,000 feet of storm drainage along Decker. I believe today they installed 200 feet of it. Callahan, Nanini and Callahan are working on that. Over this past summer, the DPW has repaired well over 100 catch basins and manholes along Decker, Smith, and Hayes. Really stretched out all of their work, and I thank you, Chris. It was a great job. And just the other day, as they were milling, the machine hit a manhole. Was it a manhole? 2 manholes, so now have to be repaired. And from now until next Wednesday, DPW crew will be milling around catch basins and manholes that the machine was not able to get to. Our paving starts a week from this Wednesday, again along Decker, Smith Court, and Hayes. Our dog park is well underway. We had several yards of dirt that we took out of the SBR tank for our wastewater plant, where the SBR tank was going. That was placed there. We started putting in some topsoil the other day. That's leveled out. I think we need a few more loads. Then we can have the fence put in there. And I'd like to have a grand opening for Washingtonville, which I believe is November 3rd. November 3rd. Other than that, you have anything to add? Wastewater plant is scheduled to be completed by the end of this calendar year. No.
Did you say the SBR is 100%?
Sorry. The SBR tank is 100% operational right now, so that was the main thing. Everything else now falls into place. So if you're not doing anything, feel free to go down to the wastewater plant and see what goes on there. Pretty interesting.
Actually, still under construction.
We're at home, because it's still under construction. Okay, tonight we had the pleasure of appointing Steve Fresser to the Zoning Board of Appeals. I thank him for stepping up. It's very hard to get volunteers to come on to the boards that we have in place. The Zoning Board of Appeals, the Planning Board, and so forth. We'd like to start looking into Ethics Board. Okay, first on the agenda is Fran, I'm sorry.
Or offender's office.
Yep. Regarding the drainage easement.
I have some information for him. Thank you for allowing me to come tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's been an ongoing issue with the easement, the drainage easement behind my property. There are several drainage easements throughout 105, 107, 9, 11, that whole area, Nickel Street, everyone has a drainage easement on their property. However, as you notice, this is just the past year. A couple of the incident reports that I filed, never got any response from anyone. I've been in correspondence with the mayor for quite a while. Nothing has been taken care of. And continuously problems. So I want to ask a few questions to the board. Any questions? 1 second. I don't know if everybody's aware of all of the work that's been being done over where the railroad track is. Is everyone aware of that? Okay. Well, I've been taking photos throughout the years of this issue. First, I'd like to know who approved these violations for drainage easements? Why can't I get any answers? What are you going to do to restore the drainage easement of my property since it's been violated? Why didn't you follow the rules required in Chapter 88 and Chapter 93, which is posted on the village website? And also, was the soil tested? I was told with the mayor last week, 10 days ago we met, the mayor and John, the engineer, that the soil didn't have to be tested, when in fact, in the rules it says that it has to be tested. Now I know for a fact there were a lot of different things in that soil, screws, a lot of different debris, and now it's been covered up. Where did that soil come from originally? And what's going to happen here, since the drainage easement has been interfered? The terrain has been totally changed. It's been elevated about 5 feet behind my property.
Okay,
So I'm here for some answers.
okay. Well, I'll give you the first answer.
Can you speak a little louder, please?
Sure. The soil being tested would have come from our engineer, John Petrosini, because I'm not qualified to make that statement, so I know I wouldn't have made that statement. Did it have to be tested?
I was told it only has to be tested if it's in New York City only,
Okay.
which that's not what's stated in the rules.
I'm just letting you know what I'm qualified to say and what I'm not qualified to say. The dirt, from what my understanding, came from the property behind you, or along Halleck, or Chemical,
Which was a gas station or
which
repair
was
shop,
a
yes.
repair shop. And he was, part of his agreement with the previous zoning planning board was going to be to take care of the drainage that was disrupted several years ago from one of the homeowners on 94.
Can I correct that?
I'm only going from what I'm told, okay? And then
Okay.
you could speak. They disrupted the whole drainage problem back there. As years went on, now comes the construction of Oro Chemical, the second building, right, or the first, I don't know which one it was. And drainage was worked out according to our engineer, right, who's now requesting a drainage plan from Oro Chemical. Because the drainage plan, I think he went above and beyond what he needed to do. Talking with the contractor just 2 weeks ago, they did put 2 catch basins in between, I don't know the addresses, the house next to you and the house next to
107 and 109.
So 107, 109. Okay, if I remember correctly, Fran, you were promised by the old village board that they would correct your drainage. Okay, stop me when I'm wrong. And I had said to you with one of our first meetings, I don't know if Trustee Lodato was part of that or she came in later, I can't go on private property and fix people's drainage. You can't do that. Right? And I told you that, and I think you agreed with me, but I can't do that. Come onto your property and fix your drainage problem.
But-
And I said to you during those conversations, the one person who can help you is the owner of Oro Chemical, because he's doing the other 3 or 4 homes. You then stated to me that you don't like him, you don't want to deal with him.
I did not say I didn't want to deal with him, I said I was never notified. He filled in the drainage easement, which is a violation. I was never notified that the drainage easement was going to be filled in. It was tampered with, there's a storm drain that is in front of the old drainage easement. It's been all filled in, so the property, now all the water is coming on my property.
Okay, that's the
And I'd like to see the
culvert
plans.
that you showed me.
Excuse me?
That's the culvert that you showed me, you and I took a walk back there.
If you look at the plans of all the property owners, we all have a drainage easement on our property. It would go through, and it would flow through to that pipe that I showed you that went underneath the railroad tracks, and then it would go through wherever, to Cornwall, wherever it would go.
And I believe that's
We
still the
never had a
plan.
problem. Excuse me?
I believe that still is the plan.
That's not the plan according to what I see and all the pictures that I've taken, because it stops at the end of 107 East Main Street.
That's next to you.
That's it, that's right. So myself and the house next to me, Nickel Street, they have drainage easements. Our drainage easements have been cut off. There's no place for the water to go. When I asked to see the plans, I was told I could come and meet with Billy. He was gonna meet with me on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you sent me a text message saying that I had to foil.
Right.
I had to put a foil out.
I contacted our attorney. You had set up a meeting, I believe, with Christine. A preliminary meeting. Christine spoke to me, I spoke to our attorney, and the attorney said you can look at whatever you want to, but it has to be foiled.
I'd like to know if there is obviously a violation because I was never notified and I'm within 500 feet of the work that's being done. I was never notified by anyone. I've been asking the village, I've been filling out reports since the property's been being filled in next to me, and nothing has been done. Nothing has been corresponded with me. I filled out, I have the incident reports of just the last 2. And prior to that, I have several prior to that. And this is an ongoing issue. Years ago, I asked to put in trees along my property, and I was told no, because there's a drainage easement there. I said,
I
okay,
remember you saying that. Yeah.
yes. I couldn't even put trees in, never mind put 5 feet of soil. My driveway has eroded. I don't have any more, I had a 2-car driveway, parking space there, it's gone. My driveway is eroding, it's dissipating, it's because there's no drainage anymore. There's no place for the water to go. Because years ago, the drainage easement worked, there were leaves in there, all the property owners would go, we'd clean out the leaves, and it would just flow.
How far back are you going with that?
I've been there 13 years. But it's been cut off. It's been filled in up to where my property is. And it's substantially higher than what my property is now.
Yeah.
When we had Hurricane Irene, I had 2 feet of water. Everyone else had 4 and 5 feet of water. I used to be the highest property, the highest home. Not any longer.
Do we know what Oro Chemical looks like?
I mean, it's going on too long. Enough is enough. They're almost finished with whatever they're doing. I have pictures every single day of what's been going on throughout the years. Not every day throughout the years, but recently, yes. And they put storm drains in a few of the properties too, the homes.
Yes, the 2 that I mentioned.
I don't know if there's 2 or 3.
I think there's only 2.
And it goes to the storm drain, which is in front of the drainage that used to be, where my water used to go in, and now it's cut off. There's no place for my water to go.
Well, it's also runoff from Route 94 and Nichols Street.
Yeah,
But that's what was promised years ago, that the village was going to put drainage in.
Well,
It was-
now
it was
they've cut
presented-
off all the drainage.
It was presented by an ex-mayor, okay? And like I said before, I'm not going to approve
but you approved.
any public, I did not.
Yeah,
any-
because
Any public money being used on private property.
Well, so who approves the violation of the easements?
The engineer would present it to the zoning.
There's an
Or-
engineer who signed on that,
Yeah.
a licensed engineer? Was it approved by the town, by the village?
It should have been, sure, it would have been.